in Nigeria, I want to believe they were born in Amaki Lede, Akwanki, and George Darko is supposed to be a big part of this as well. Have you performed alongside all of these guys before? No. Do you know Amaki Lede anyway?
No, but I probably would have heard his music before because it's high life.
Right.
And there was a time I was listening to a lot of them. So most likely in my young days, I never remember the name. Because I was very into Ghanaian high life because of my father.
Right.
Because my father he grew up like listening to Ghanaian high life, and he was very crazy about Ghanaian people. I don't know. I think probably because of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Right.
And so he made us very close to Ghanaians.
Which I would want to believe you've been very crazy about Pan-Africanism as well. I love your outfit, and considering that you were born in the UK, I'm just wondering how you were able to put all of this together to represent and be a symbol of Africa that you are now.
This is my father introducing us to Kwame Nkrumah. He was a fanatic of Kwame Nkrumah's ideology, so we grew up reading Pan-Africanist books and Africa Unity and all this brotherhood of Africa. Everything was about Africa through my father. And like I said, he was madly in love with Kwame Nkrumah. So we were always like coming to Ghana with him. And Ghana, I mean, I even know I remember a few words in Ashanti.
Say it to me.
What to say? If I send you, I'm hungry, does that mean?
Oh my gosh.
What does that mean?
Comedy.
Comedy. I remember, what's that?
Femi, one secret. Don't strictly go by what they teach you.
Okay.
I remember there was a gentleman there. It's a very bad one.
Excuse me, it's something somebody taught me, but I just remember these few things. I never remember the meaning. But I remember Boko. Boko means like I'm fine.
Boko. Let me get to you before I get to Femi, who is seriously learning tree over there. It reminds me of when, I can't say, Benenga asked Gideon Ego, who I bet should be listening this morning, how do you say good morning? And he said to me, excuse my language once again, Duna. And Duna means bam. So I passed and said Duna to people. And they looked at my bum. And I didn't understand what I was doing. That was supposed to be greetings. Anyway, Dylan, how prepared are you, the Global Media Alliance, with all of those you're collaborating for the Legends Night?
Yeah, I should say that by now we are so prepared with in terms of logistics, and then as is basically today we're even doing a press launch with all the artists lined up. As Femi will be there together with Amachide and Ofio Kuyo, and then with the press at Casapeko. So I should say we are fully prepared for Saturday evening at the banquet hall.
Right. Femi, I've heard about quite a number of your albums. Shocky.
Yeah,
No Place for My...
No Place for My Them, that's the latest album, which is doing very well
right. Which other ones have you produced that we don't know about?
Africa, that was my first one. The first one, Fight to Win, was my first Grammy nominee.
Right.
Bang 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 was one that won the first Kora Award for Nigeria, World Music. Then after that was Fight to Win, Grammy. Then the next one was Day by Day, which was very big in Europe and America as well. My second Grammy nominee. Third Grammy nominee was Africa for Africa, which is probably, I love that album because it was more about solutions for the African problem. And now we have No Place for My Dreams, which is doing very well. With the hit track, The World is Changing.
Right. Solution for the African problem, which was a big part of your father's vision as well. May his soul rest in peace. But let me get to understand, how content do you feel usually when people attribute that to you, son of the legend, the pioneer of Afro-pop music? We're talking about
my father.
Your father.
Of course, and I never had a problem with it, and I never understood why people thought I should have a problem, because I loved my father, and we had our differences because, every home, the father and son always have their differences, but I think because he was such a big legend, people, he was always new, so if there was a conflict between us, but I loved him and I respected what he stood for, and I was very proud to be his son, and I'm still very proud to be his son, and for what he stood for, his bravery, he never backed down from, despite all his incarcerations, the beatings by the government, he never surrendered, he never ran away from the problem. He stood, he fought for the African people, he fought against corruption, and I'm really proud. And I did see, as growing up as a kid, I did see the beatings, I did see him, all the wounds he sustained from the fighting the government. So I am very proud of him.
Mm.
So I am obliged. I love to, if people want to talk about him, I love to tell my side of the story of what I saw. I think this is very important for history. I have no problem, absolutely no problem with this.
What about your father? Haven't you taken after yet?